Today is December 26th, the 132nd anniversary of the birth of our great leader, Chairman Mao Zedong. On this special day, I want to talk with you about a term that has recently gone viral, the kill line. Few people realize that old China was once a country riddled with kill lines as well. It was Chairman Mao and his comrades who, through nearly a century of relentless and extraordinary struggle, gradually transformed the Chinese people's kill lines into lock HP lines that stop life from dropping to zero. Today's video is dedicated to commemorating his birth. The term kill line went viral because of a Bilibili creator known as Squitch King, nicknamed online as Prisoner A. He is a post-2000s Chinese international student. By age alone, he should be full of vitality. Yet when he talks about the real United States, he sounds more weathered than many middle-aged people who have already seen life and death. In an extremely calm and plain tone, he exposed the silent yet brutally violent process taking place beneath America's glittering neon lights, a process of population clearance. He summarized it all with a word so precise it carries a kind of horrifying aesthetic: the kill line. So what exactly is a kill line? In video games, a kill line means this: once an opponent's HP drops below a certain threshold, a single combo can finish them off no matter how high their defenses were before. And in real-world America, what does it mean? It means that once your assets or income fall below an invisible red line, the entire social system stops treating you as a human being. It activates an efficient, cold-blooded process, rapidly squeezing out whatever value you have left, and then, in a literal physical sense, eliminating you. Make no mistake, physical elimination does not mean someone shoots you on the spot. Modern civilized societies consume people without leaving bones behind, without spilling a single drop of blood. Today, we are going to dissect America's kill line. Part 1. American Tragedies. First, listen to Prisoner A's story. He was originally just a Chinese student who went to the USFO graduate school with a background in biochemistry. By sheer coincidence, he took on a peculiar part-time job, body transport, in plain terms, collecting corpses. This job allowed him to penetrate the deepest layers of American society, and to witness the dark realities deliberately hidden by mainstream media. Even before this, Prisoner A had streamed on Bilibili, talking about many uncomfortable truths about the US. Most Chinese viewers didn't believe him, until one live stream, the icy rain night in Seattle, everyone broke down. Traditionally, Halloween is the happiest day for American children. They go door to door in affluent neighborhoods asking for candy, a moment when the American middle class showcases warmth and prosperity. But on Halloween night in 2025, Seattle was hit by freezing rain. Temperatures hovered near zero. Prisoner prepared candy as usual and waited for children to knock. The doorbell rang. Outside stood several 5- or 6-year-old children, wearing cheap, thin Halloween costumes, soaked by rain and clinging to their bodies, shivering uncontrollably. When Prisoner A brought out the candy, he noticed something unsettling. Their eyes were not on the candy. They were locked onto the half-eaten hamburger in his hand. He hesitated, then offered the hamburger. The children didn't pause for a second. They ignored all manners, grabbed it, and devoured it. They were genuinely starving, and that was only the beginning. As the night went on, the visitors were no longer cheerful children, but wave after wave of hungry refugees. As a Chinese person, Prisoner A couldn't bear to watch children go hungry. In the end, he ordered more than 30 hamburgers and handed them out. The bitter irony: the delivery driver wasn't a young, strong worker but a black woman in her 50s. In the freezing wind, she handed over the food bags. Her eyes showed no complaint about the job, only the same hunger. Prisoner A gave her a hamburger. She hugged him and cried, saying, "Thank you. I haven't eaten tonight." Pay attention, this woman was not homeless. Those children were not homeless children. They had families. They lived in nearby neighborhoods. The woman had a job. She was working deliveries. Yet in the world's #1 GDP country, in seemingly prosperous Seattle that couldn't afford food, this is the warning sign of a kill line approaching. Dignity is stripped away. Survival instinct begins to override everything. In prisoner A's account, these families were likely standing right at the edge of the kill line. They might still afford rent barely. They might still have an old car, but they had no money left for food. In inflation-ridden America, rent is rigid, car payments are rigid, utilities are rigid. Only one thing can be compressed: food. And so we see this surreal reality. During a festival meant for the wealthy, while parties are held at Mar-a-Lago, poor children risk hypothermia, not for candy, but for a bite of food. If those Halloween children were still struggling above the kill line, then the client's prisoner A encountered at work were already the dead beneath it. He told a story about the human body recycling industry more terrifying than any horror movie. In the US, handling a corpse is itself a business. And connecting that business is a massive gray industry: body brokers. US federal law contains massive loopholes in regulating human remains. A head, a spine, a full sheet of human skin each has a clearly marked price on the black market, sold to collectors with grotesque tastes. When they were alive, pharmaceutical companies extracted drug profits from them. When they were homeless, drug dealers extracted addiction profits. When they die under a freezing bridge, body traffickers squeeze out their last remaining biological value. Bones are turned into specimens, sold to medical schools or private collectors. This is what total consumption really means. If you believe these people fell below the kill line because they were lazy or unmotivated, that working harder could save them, then prisoner A's next story will completely shatter that illusion. He once tutored a young black man in mathematics. This wasn't a gang member. He was a classic striver. Born poor, working on docks to survive. He wanted college. He wanted to change his fate. He worked desperately, saved every penny, and even taught himself calculus in a very short time. Sounds inspiring, right? Sounds like the American dream. But what was the ending? He spent all his savings to send his drug-addicted younger brother to rehab. That angered the local gang because it cut off their profits. They decided he had disrespected them. They ambushed him and beat him severely. Here's the critical part. After the attack, his savings were gone, and he had no decent health insurance, a common condition among America's working poor. He couldn't afford surgery or hospitalization. The hospital provided only minimal treatment and discharged him. In the end, this hardworking young man who tried to change his fate through knowledge died alone in his rental room from an infected wound. He didn't die from laziness. He didn't die from stupidity. He died from one thing: zero fault tolerance. This brings us to the essence of the kill line. In America, no matter how hard you work, if your assets cannot cover a single black swan event like severe injury, illness, or job loss, the system discards you instantly. Part 2. The logic of the kill line. So, what exactly is the numerical threshold of the kill line? First, we must see clearly what Americans actually earn. If you open UDA's economic data from the past decade, you'll see a very impressive report card. Average annual income, about $50,000, and rising year after year. But this is a massive statistical trap, because the people pulling the average income carriage forward are mostly the wealthy sitting in first class. For those at the bottom, the wheels are not moving forward at all, they are moving backward. The truth is hidden in one word: median. The median wage in the United States hovers at only about $35,000 a year. And under years of high inflation, the real purchasing power of that number has almost stagnated or even declined. What does this mean? It means that half of Americans are earning less than $35,000 a year, struggling to survive in a country where prices keep soaring. Even more brutal, this table hides an entire group of people. Statistics only count tax-paying residents. Large numbers of undocumented workers, illegal immigrants, and the homeless are not counted at all. Think about it, do you think they can reach the $35,000 kill line? Almost impossible. Earlier this year, during the China Schulstock cost of living comparisons on Shaohongshu, many people asked, why do Americans work 3 jobs a day? Now the answer is clear: because they are terrified of triggering the kill line. The reason it is called a kill line is because it has powerful combo mechanics. Once you expose a weakness, the system launches consecutive strikes until you are completely knocked down. Let's simulate how an ordinary American middle-class person falls below the kill line. Stage 1. Rigid expenses. American living costs are packed with rigid expenses. Take property tax. Even after paying off your mortgage, you still owe thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars every year. Can't pay. The government has the right to auction your house. Then there's health insurance and car insurance. These are not optional. They are continuous HP draining debuffs. Here's a typical case: a young American woman earning $2,000 a month with no second job. After federal tax, state tax, rent, car insurance, and utilities, she has $300 left. That $300 must cover food, communication, and daily necessities for an entire month. This is extreme survival mode. Error tolerance is nearly zero. What's even scarier, these rigid expenses can't be solved by cutting back. Take electricity. The U.S. electricity pricing system has 2 core features. Tiered pricing. Shared infrastructure costs. Wealthy and middle-class neighborhoods often use the same power grid. The wealthy live energy-intensive lifestyles: large houses with constant air conditioning, heated swimming pools, automatic lawn irrigation, charging Teslas. They use electricity without restraint. What's the result? The entire region runs at high load long-term, triggering peak pricing. Power companies say, we need to upgrade equipment, maintain lines, buy more expensive peak power. Who pays? Not just the rich, but everyone, built into every kilowatt hour. So an absurd scene emerges. Poor people in low-income housing dare not turn on the air conditioner in summer, hesitate to turn on lights at night, and keep refrigerators at minimum settings. Yet because they share the grid with the rich's overconsumption drives up overall costs. So even if the poor use just 1 unit of electricity, the price per unit is much higher than before. The rich enjoy comfort, the poor pay the bill. And this HP drain is being accelerated by the AI boom. Silicon Valley giants are building data centers at a frenzy. One large data center consumes as much electricity as tens of thousands of households. These power-devouring monsters run 24 hours a day, aggressively competing for electricity. The result: wholesale electricity prices skyrocket. In some states, residential electricity bills have nearly doubled in 2 years. For Microsoft or Google, this is just a decimal point in a financial report. For the rich, it's 1 less bottle of wine. But for families hovering near the kill line, electric bills rising from $100 to $200 means choosing between eating and turning on the lights. This is America's accelerated HP loss cheat code. Stage 2. Sudden accidents. Life always has accidents, car crashes, serious illness. No one can avoid them. But in the United States, healthcare has never been welfare. It is a business soaked in blood. Many Chinese people don't understand why Americans panic at the mention of health insurance. Because insurance companies have 10,000 ways to deny coverage. During online comparisons, one American posted a bill. A routine urinary tract infection, 1 day in the hospital, $190,000. In China, this might cost a few hundred yuan for full treatment. Even worse, having insurance does not mean you're safe. You pay premiums 4 years, but on the day of surgery, the insurer says this procedure isn't covered, or you haven't met your deductible. That's why, after a man named Luigi shot a United Healthcare executive, American social media erupted in applause, because people driven to desperation by insurance are everywhere. For people near the kill line, getting sick equals bankruptcy. They don't dare go to hospitals, they don't dare call ambulances. They'd rather take veterinary antibiotics. They'd rather buy painkillers on the black market. And painkillers are often the first step into the drug abyss. Stage 3, credit collapse. You can't afford treatment. You can't go to work, you get fired. Bills go overdue, your credit score collapses. America's strongest control skill enters the field: credit scores. Below 350 means total lockdown: rent - denied jobs - rejected loans only usury remains. You sell your car, sell your house, and eventually lose a fixed address. And in America, having no fixed address equals social death. You can't open a bank account. You don't receive court notices. You miss hearings and automatically lose cases. You end up on the streets. To avoid freezing or being robbed, you either stay hyper-alert or numb yourself. When that fentanyl-laced cigarette is offered, it's very hard to refuse. The moment you inhale, life is over. Those who fall below the kill line have only one ending: homelessness. And the average lifespan of the homeless is only 6 years. In those 6 years, they are not people, they are background props on the street. Extreme cold, drugs, gun violence, police brutality, any variable can end them at any time. Part 3. Why China has no kill line. Does China have poor people? Yes. Income inequality? Yes. People in distress? Of course. But China has no kill line, or rather China has a counter-kill line system. Land, subsistence allowances, healthcare, industrial capacity, and state backing together form 4 layers of shields, catching lives at their most dangerous moments. Shield 1. Land and a way back. The deepest difference between China and the US lies in roots. In the US, most people are atomized individuals. Once they lose work and the ability to rent, they become drifting weeds with nowhere to return. In China, we have a system criticized by many economists, yet one that has saved the nation repeatedly. Collective land ownership under the urban-rural dual structure. You may have heard of the Santi gods. They take day jobs in Shenzhen, work 1 day, rest 3, sleep in cheap bunks, eat instant noodles. Many self-media portray them as China's most miserable class. But notice they have a final retreat: home. No matter how badly they fail in the city, a cheap train ticket takes them back to the countryside, where they still have a homestead and contracted land. This is a constitutional right the last means of production capital cannot take away. Those few plots won't make you rich, but growing potatoes, sweet potatoes, raising chickens and ducks is enough to survive, and to survive with dignity. That's why, during the 2008 financial crisis, tens of millions of migrant workers returned home without triggering massive social unrest. Rural China acted like a giant sponge absorbing surplus labyrinth, providing the final shelter. In America, once unemployed and bankrupt, you have no home to return to. Your hometown was swallowed by agribusiness capital long ago, or you were a propertyless urban poor to begin with. You sleep under overpass and wait to freeze to death. Shield 2. The state's guaranteed baseline. Prisoner, I mentioned the detail. US food stamp SNAP are being cut, with extremely high eligibility thresholds. In China, we have a quiet yet great system: poverty alleviation and minimum subsistence support. I won't cite grand numbers. I'll use one uniquely Chinese term: the 5 guarantees household: food, clothing, medical care, housing, burial, and education for orphans. This is the Chinese government's solemn commitment to the most vulnerable rural residents, those with no labor ability, no income, and no caretakers. In any Chinese village, if a village head allows a 5 guarantees household to starve or freeze to death, it is a serious political incident. Careers end, accountability follows. That is bottom line thinking. Healthcare too. People complain about costs, but one fact must be acknowledged. China's basic medical insurance and centralized procurement block the deadliest blow. In the US, antibiotics can cost tens of dollars without insurance. An ambulance ride can cost thousands. In China, a few yuan buys amoxicillin, dozens of yuan get you emergency treatment. For the truly poor, there is also major illness assistance. It may not guarantee the best care for everyone, but it strives to prevent tragedies like one broken bone destroys an entire family. In Prisoner A's American Stories, dying because you couldn't afford medicine ain't normal. In China, if you collapse on the street, 120 arrives to save you first, not to check your bank balance. Shield 3. Low survival costs from industrial capacity. Why does a $30,000 annual income in the US mean living like a dog? While in China, even a 3,000 yuan monthly income can sustain life. This isn't about exchange rates, it's about industrialization rights. China has the world's most complete industrial system. This means not just military potential but extremely low living costs. In the US, deindustrialization forces reliance on imports, combined with expensive service labor, driving prices sky high. A burger, 10 t-shirt, 20 haircut, 30 美元. In China, thanks to manufacturing and logistics networks Pinduoduo, Taobao, basic survival goods are extremely cheap. 10 yuan t-shirts, 20 yuan shoes, vegetables at 2 yuan per gin, instant noodles at 1 yuan per pack. These cheap industrial goods form the solid foundation of survival for the lower class. Even more important, China's infrastructure is universal. In the US, remote communities may lack internet or even have lead-contaminated water. In China, even villages deep in the mountains are connected to the state grid, covered by 4G and 5G, and linked by paved roads. All of this lowers the survival threshold and raises the fault tolerance of life. Shield 4. The counter-kill mechanism. Yes, China has a counter-kill system. It's called the Dynamic Monitoring System for preventing a return to poverty. How does it work? Let's simulate a real scenario. In a remote rural area, a family suddenly faces disaster. A member suffers a serious illness, with out-of-pocket hospital expense exceeding 50,000 yuan. At that moment, the family doesn't need to cry for help, and no media exposure is required. The local medical insurance backend automatically flags the anomaly. In China, medical insurance, civil affairs, and rural revitalization systems are interconnected. Out-of-pocket expenses over 50,000 yuan is flagged as risk of falling back into poverty. A red alert is instantly generated and sent to the county-level government. After receiving the alert, local authorities don't send cold rejection letters like U.S. insurers. They send people, usually the village party secretary or assistance officers. They verify, will this expense crush the family? Is there remaining labor capacity? Is emergency assistance needed? If the problem is money, they guide applications for subsidies and aid blood transfusion. But the system also builds blood. No labor ability. Funds buy chicks or lambs, you raise them, someone buys them later. Earn income, stabilize life. This is the truth of China's poverty alleviation. Not charity, but a tailored survival plan, with the state pushing until you can stand on your own. The key is dynamic monitoring. While income rises above the line, alerts stop but attention doesn't. If hardship returns, alerts trigger again, support returns again. Using advanced digital technology, we have woven the densest and most humane safety net in human history. Its purpose is simple: to prevent the appearance of a kill line in this country. Because in China, people are treated as people. Part 4. Conclusion. Prisoner A's story, a story like thunder, shattering the illusion of Western civilization. With the emergence of the kill line, with a real America laid bare, we have completed a collective awakening. Looking back at our country, it is not perfect, but it is on a path that treats people as human beings. Freedom from deprivation, freedom from fear, freedom from systemic elimination. This is the highest form of human rights and the deepest source of institutional confidence. History is proving, and will continue to prove, the end of capitalism is paradise for the few and hell without end for the many. The path of socialism with Chinese characteristics, though thorny, leads toward a warmer, fairer, brighter future. This era, as you wished, this road, we will follow without wavering.